Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, do not adjust your TV sets. Don't you dare try to navigate away from the window. You're in the middle of what we would affectionately refer to as Nerd Sports episode 201.
We
So,
made it. We made it
Yeah.
after the first one.
yeah, we got carried across the threshold, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
I think dragg's more appropriate
Drug,
term.
yeah, drug,
Drug.
yeah, you know, with a chain from the toe ball of a like a
No.
78 square body Silverado truck down some FM roads. And for those of you outside of the state of Texas, FM here stands for farm to market. They're mostly, actually 99% of the FMs that I know of are dirt and gravel roads. So yeah.
Now I think it's more caveman style. Someone knocked us over the head with a club and just dragged us by your hair.
So are you insinuating that we've been sodomizing ourselves by getting us this far?
Pretty much.
Okay. So let me see here. In all transparency, people, I lost track of time. David texts me with I don't know, 5 minutes to go. And I'm sitting there going, oh shit. Like I'm eating dinner, and my wife and her sister are currently in the living room watching on Max this show called Naked Attraction. It's a dating show on Max where they kind of do everything in reverse and they don't blur anything. Full frontal, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And you decide whether or not you want to date the other person based on what their junk looks like.
I'll still watch Love on the Spectrum. That's a go-to show. Do you like trains? I like trains. I like trains too.
I watch a guy that talks about those type of shows, and it's really funny how stupid like the interactions are. Like it's like
I think it's more realistic, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Love on the no, that Love on the Spectrum was the autism.
You ever heard of
I'm Down with Love?
You ever heard
Have
of
you ever
Goop?
watched? Huh?
You ever heard of Goop?
No. But I watched I'm Down with Love.
Isn't Goop like the government entity from Futurama?
No, it's a show that is hosted by the chick that plays Potts in Iron Man.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that you were talking something like that, but it was it's Gwyneth Paltrow's little love scam.
Yeah, it's really stupid and funny.
This is coming from the same woman who sells a candle that's scented like her vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her company's name.
Goop.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm tracking.
The company's name is Goop.
I don't think I'd be interested in buying that candle because, I mean,
or the VJJ egg.
Right, where it's like, I mean, you got to imagine, what does that make your house smell like? Like, I mean, does it make you want to go get a job at like the fish markets in New York?
I think those candles.
It makes you want to go deep sea tuna fishing off the coast.
No. Think about it real life. All right, you want to go get some sushi because anytime I go to the United Farmers Market and I pass by that sushi, those sushi chefs, I cry a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, spring training is in full.
Johnny, what are you doing?
Come on.
Yeah, we've been doing this like 201 episodes.
Okay.
First.
All right. So, yeah, I'm distracted this week. I'm sorry. By all means, David, take it away and show us
The weird sport of the week this week is something called the Red Bull Crushed Ice.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I actually looked on the field of these things, and it is the way that, because they had hockey players go up on these fields, and
Cool.
the first thing they tell them is just don't stop and keep on going, and just don't even jump, just don't stop on those hills. And the hockey players couldn't get it. They were just like, and this is not like hard ice. It's a softer ice. And they said when they fell down, they just get drenching wet.
Yeah.
But that it's still just that takes some tenacity.
Yeah, this came out a couple of years ago. I remember seeing this. I watched this when it was on TV, and I watched it live. And dude, this was cool to watch
Yeah.
because I mean it's I don't know it's I mean it looks exactly like you see. I mean it's fast, it's nasty, it's glorified speed skating with hockey skates. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, but that is a cool sport to watch. I don't know if they're still doing it or not though. I mean, I think I
I
think
think
I think it had
so.
a short shelf life.
I don't think it had like a short shelf life. I just don't think you have to look for it just to watch it nowadays because everything goes online with almost everything.
All right, well, like I attempted to do a few minutes ago. How can I put this? Um, Mistakenly. Yeah, I'll just say that. Spring training is in full swing. So, okay. I already did.
Oh yeah, they do it.
Like, it's a weird show. It's very educational, but very weird. And I'm like, okay. I knew you were going to rat us out. I already did. Anyway, spring training is in full swing. Uh, so we're already a couple of games into it.
Do they have practice games? Or are
That's
they just doing-
basically what they are.
Okay.
You know, when your pitchers and catchers and position players are reporting, I mean, they're going for full workouts. I mean, think of it as like just baseball practice, right? And then when you start ramping up, the purpose of spring training is to get everybody back into the the flow of the game. You get your mechanics back on time. Get pitchers stretched out because once you shut down at the end of your season, whether it's in October or at the end of the World Series, um, everybody just kind of goes their separate ways. There are a few players that go down to the Dominican and they play winter ball down there. There's guys that like Trevor Story. He goes to like a baseball camp that he sets up for some some of his teammates. Now Trevor Story's from the Fort Worth area, so that's where he goes back to during the off season. And they basically work out and work on flexibility, work on durability, and definitely core strength to try to make that 6 month grind over 160 games. But with the pitchers, they'll come out, they'll throw like an inning and a half or an inning and 2/3, and sometimes maybe 2 innings, kind of a deal, and then they get rotated in rapidly, right? It's like rapid fire. They'll do split squad games where the team's playing 2 games in one day, so they'll send one squad across the state. The other squad will stay home and play. But the idea is to get your starting pitchers stretched out to where they can pitch at a minimum 6 quality innings. Um, of course, people are gonna, they're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get guys that are gonna try to overdo it, kind of. I mean, we're already starting to see some of that. So, but with let me see here. Let me actually pull up the injury report.
Yeah, that's one thing I was about to ask you is like how many like overthrow their arms or anything like that?
Well, And that's where off-season conditioning comes into play. You can definitely tell who puts in the work when they're not, with the team, and who doesn't. But as far as the Mets are concerned, let me see here. Manager Carlos Mendoza said on February 24th, which was today, um, Sean Manaea has been diagnosed with a right oblique strain and will likely miss opening day. Um, Magri- um, Madrigal dislocated his left shoulder. This is Nick Madrigal. He dislocated his left shoulder during a Grapefruit League game on February 23rd, which was yesterday. MRI revealed that he he had a fracture in the shoulder, and he would be out for a. Is my sound going out?
No, it's fine.
Okay. He'd be out for a long time. Carlos Mendoza also said on February 17th that Frankie Montas has a high grade lat strain and will be shut down for 6 to 8 weeks. So he's going to miss all the spring training. He'll be lucky to see opening day. And Shohei Ohtani, who had right elbow surgery and left shoulder surgery, is slated to return as a two-way player since for the first time since joining the Dodgers. He began an off-season throwing program in December and has since resumed hitting with the expectation that he'll be ready as a hitter on opening day and a pitcher sometime in May. Now, he threw 25 pitches in a bullpen session on February 22nd, faced live pitching for the first time as a hitter yesterday. Continuing with the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman, who is their first baseman, he had surgery in the offseason on his right ankle. If you remember last year's World Series, everybody was comparing him to Kirk Gibson, also of Dodgers fame, just because he was playing in the World Series with a bum ankle. So, but he had surgery in the offseason on his right ankle. He tested the ankle on the field for the first time on the 20th, and reports were positive, and he expects that he'll be ready to go for the season opener against the Cubs in Japan on March 18th. So the Cubs and the Dodgers, they're going to see spring training. They're going to fly to Japan. They're going to play a series there. So effectively, their season will start March 18th. Generally speaking, camp doesn't break until like March 20th, 24th, somewhere around there. And that way, it gives clubs a time to get where they need to be to open the season on opening day. But with the Philly, see here, we've got Evan Phillips of the Dodgers. He's right with a right shoulder injury. Michael Kopech with a right forearm inflammation. He arrived at camp in Glendale, Arizona, a little behind schedule, and he could begin the season on the injured list. Even though Dave Roberts was the manager for the Dodgers, said that he would it would depend on how they're able to build up over the next couple of weeks. They've also got Bobby Miller, who's in concussion protocol after being struck on the head by a line drive during his appearance in the Dodgers Cactus League opener against the Cubs on February 20th. He took 105 mile an hour line drive off the bat, off his head. He's a pitcher, so that thing came right back, and yeah, so he's alert. He's like I said, obviously in concussion protocol, so they're definitely going to make sure that he's squared away before they put him back on the mound. The big thing with pitchers that have those comebackers, a lot of them get a little gun shy, and it affects their velocity because they're worried about slowing their delivery down so that way that gives them an extra couple of nanoseconds to get out of the way. Unfortunately, you slow down your velocity, you also slow down your spin rate, and you lose your control. You get a little wild, or you start pitching over the middle, and hitters, they don't care. They're going to punish. They'll treat it like a mistake, and they're going to punish you all along. John Carlos Stanton and Aaron Judge of the New York Shitties. I mean the Yankees. Stanton's been able to resume baseball activities due to pain in both elbows, which has prompted a trip to New York for further consultation and testing. Now, Aaron Boone who, for some inexplicable reason, is still the manager of the Yankees, described Stanton's issues as akin to tennis elbow, but recent developments suggest it may be more of a significant concern. I see you over there, Colin, logging into your Crunchyroll. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get notifications. Oh,
I'm just doing it on. I'm doing it on my
that's when you
computer
pay the
because
bill like that, right?
well, I was logging in because
He's been.
Oh,
Oh no! No,
holy shit, he's
oh my
back!
god,
don't you dare play with my emotions, you lovable man, you.
In the flesh.
Ladies and gentlemen, he took a couple of weeks of hiatus. He's got his head squared away. He's got his shot group tightened. Everybody stand up and recognize the beautiful mountain man, the sexy beast of our show, Chris the Jaka, has returned. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, brother, we have missed you. I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, damn, dude, I hate fucking doing this show without him on the panel. But
Yeah, I appreciate y'all indulging me a couple of weeks off there.
well, for what it's worth, cheers to you, brother.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. Good to be back.
Did you talk to Trey about the van photo I sent him?
About the who?
The van photo I sent him, Trey.
The van photo? I don't think
The
so.
van photo that all three of us witnessed that one day, that fateful day at NASCAR.
Oh, no.
Wait, you took a photo?
Yeah, I took a photo. Evidence.
Did I fall asleep during this interaction?
Oh, to prove it, it's on the thumbnail.
I don't
I knew we were
remember
gonna
there
talk
being a photo taken though, because that
Yeah,
would have made it into the retelling of the story.
Oh, right? When? Hang on.
I think I did it right when we went back the first time, and I found that.
David,
45.
that's some deep state shit, and you know that stuff's getting fucking put down. So you might want to keep that on the down low, bro.
Oh, shit, he did. Well, yeah, no, that is the van.
somebody could zoom in and clear up the photo to look at the license plate. You know that, right?
Can I?
Well,
Yep.
now, David has brought the show to a screeching fucking halt.
Which, you know.
No, you can't. It's blurred out. I blurred it out.
Did you?
Yes, he did. Okay.
But just know that we have the original still. So, I mean.
Yeah, I have a close up one.
If we really wanted to.
If we wanted.
I like our version better though. Like I don't want the truth actually interfering with what actually happened.
Yeah,
like our
the universe that we've fabricated is the stuff of like
legends. Yes,
it's. I mean, like R.R. Martin legend, right? But I mean, it's like Game of Thrones, but with a better ending.
I mean, who goes?
It actually did.
Who goes? I mean, all reality, the kind of people that goes to a NASCAR event parking lot just to do something like that.
David, remind me one year to take you to the camper section.
Oh, you don't have to take me to the camper section. I pretty much
we'll take you by the RVs and the campers outside of the track. Just make sure that you stock up on a plentiful supply of Mardi Gras beads.
It's even more depraved than the enlisted housing at Fort Bragg when a unit goes on deployment.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. I mean, you really want to get squirrely, you really want to get wild, go to Speedway Boulevard in Talladega.
Ooh.
Race weekend. I mean, it's got the upside down pineapples questioning their life decisions.
Like there is even there, like there is something wrong with you guys.
Yeah, they're like
you need to calm down.
Like, oh, there's a line, and apparently we crossed it. Okay,
There is a line.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Right, but see, now I can carry on with the rest of these injury reports because it just feels like the universe has suddenly been brought back into focus. God, we've missed you, Chris. I'm just kind of putting that out there, bud.
I'm just happy that the Rangers managed to beat the White Sox today after losing to the freaking Cubs yesterday. I was like, this would be the trifecta.
Well,
that we would need. We would just throw it on there. They lost to everybody else.
Just bear in mind, it's only the spring.
True. This is very true.
Spring training means about as, or spring training win-loss records mean about as much as they do in the NFL.
True. And I fully recognize that. However, after the disappointing season that we had last year, I'm looking for wins wherever I can possibly get them.
No, absolutely. I got you 100%. But so while you were logging in, was talking about how Giancarlo Stanton jerks off too much and he's got tennis elbow. So they think that the team might think that, or is thinking that it's more serious than tennis elbow. So they sent him back to New York for further consultation and testing. But on the 20th, which was a few days ago, Boone said the judge will not play in his first Grapefruit League game of the spring until around March 1st, so as not to rush the superstar slugger into game action following a lengthy postseason that ended in a 5-game World Series loss to the Dodgers. It's more like you've got him on the backfields shagging pop flies so he can remember how to catch a fucking ball. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. Just kind of saying. I mean, they may or may not have bought him an oversized glove to play with this year. I'm just putting that out there. Let me see here. Wyatt Langford of the Rangers has a mild oblique strain, according to manager Bruce Bochy, announced ahead of the team's Grapefruit opener against the Royals on the 21st. So the plan is to keep Langford out of baseball activities for 5 to 7 days and then see how he is. Spencer Strider and Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves. Acuna is recovering from a torn right ACL last year. He won't be ready for opening day, but he's hopeful he'll be back in the lineup soon after. He's currently taking batting practice and running at what he considers 90% of his normal speed. But he's still a few weeks away from further testing his knee with cutting drills. Strider, with elbow surgery in the offseason, has been throwing bullpen sessions and may be allowed to pitch in at least one game before the end of spring training. His next step may be facing live hitters soon. If he doesn't encounter any setbacks, he could rejoin Atlanta's rotation by the end of April. Cutter Crawford and Brian Balow of the Red Sox. Crawford is dealing with discomfort in the patellar tendon of his right knee, something that he dealt with from his third start of the last season onward. Manager Alex Cora said, quote, "It looks like Crawford won't be ready for opening day," which kind of sucks because there was rumors as that Cutter Crawford was being tabbed as the opening day starter. Brian Balow, who was also being tabbed or looked at as being the opening day starter, he's been dealing with inflammation in his right shoulder since the start of camp. With the Giants, you've got Helio Ramos and Tom Murphy. Ramos is dealing with a mild oblique issue that will likely sideline him for the first week of the Cactus League games. And Murphy has mid-back disc herniation, and he received an epidural injection for the back today, which will shut him down for a few weeks and put his availability for opening day in doubt. Everybody's dealing with injuries, and to no surprise for those of you in Astros Nation, Lance McCullers Jr., who took the last 2 seasons off, he underwent flexor tendon surgery on his right arm back in 2023. He suffered a setback in his recovery process last year and hasn't thrown a pitch in a major league game since the 2022 World Series, when he absolutely got fucking obliterated because he was tipping his pitches to the entire Philadelphia lineup. Yeah. He's thrown in the bullpen seven times so far this spring, and he said he could face live hitters within the next couple of weeks, and if all goes well, he could pitch in a Grapefruit League game before the end of spring training. Let me see here. Any other notables out there? Not really. But to say that baseball is back and that even with all the injury reports that are already coming out, I think the world's a better place. Absolutely, 100%. I know that Alex Bregman hit his first home run in a Red Sox uniform today in spring training action. So I mean, he cleared the monster down there in Fort Myers, Florida, which is I think it's like 10 to 15 feet taller than the actual monster.
Really?
Yeah, like he got underneath this
That
thing
was-
and just skied it and just straight muscled that thing out of there. So
Good for
I'm
him.
excited about that. Now, with as far as the Red Sox are concerned, you know, you get all these prima donnas that are out there, you know, and then you get people like Rafael Devers, who was being looked at by a lot of fans and a lot of guys in the clubhouse as being the next captain of the team. You know, the closest thing to somebody who would wear the C patch on his jersey. Pretty much kind of showed how much of a little bitch he is this year so far. When the team signed Alex Bregman's natural position is third base. And, you know, he brings obviously a very defensive upgrade to that position with several gold gloves at that position. Rafael Devers, I think he's got one, maybe two. I'm pretty sure it's one. And even at the plate, he's been scuffling. Now, that's not to say that Alex Bregman hasn't been scuffling at the plate, but defensively, he's still been very sound. Whereas Rafael Devers over the last couple of years, defensively, categorically, and statistically, is the worst third baseman in all of Major League Baseball. And we're talking about errors upon errors upon errors. It's like reading the book of Genesis in the Bible where so-and-so begot so-and-so and so-and-so begat so-and-so. His errors begat each other, and it's like a big incestuous cesspool with his errors. There was a lot of talk that, you know, people were like, well, you know, we could make Rafael Devers the DH or maybe move him over to first base, move Alex Bregman over there to second, because there's some pretty hot prospects that are, you know, working at second base, and, you know, they're I mean, it's just excellent defensive prospects. And of course, we got Trevor Story, who is, you know, provided that he stays healthy, will be playing shortstop for the entirety of the year. But, you know, when asked about it, Rafael Devers said, you know, if the team asks me, I'm going to tell them no, I'm not moving. Like, I'm sorry. The last time I checked, you were an employee under contract, and you don't get paid to make those kinds of decisions. So, you know, and everybody's like, well, what the hell? Just trade him, you know? And we can free up some cap, you know, not cap space, but some payroll, and we can go out and we get people that, you know, defense is a premium for them. And, you know, we can plug out, you know, holes in other places like our bullpen, things like that. You know, maybe go out and sign a starter, you know, that kind of a deal. That's going to give us some length over the course of the year. That, you know, that are pretty durable. They have a high return, high ROI on their contracts, right? And, you know, and then just to kind of show what kind of a classy person Alex Bregman is, he was like, look, I'll just play wherever the team wants me to play. And I'm like, you know what?
I'm here to play ball.
Yeah. I mean, he was initially drafted by the Red Sox years ago, and he declined the contract, didn't sign with the team because he wanted to go play college ball at LSU, which he did. And that's when the Astros drafted him. And then, you know, he's been there up until this year. Personally, I was excited when Alex Bregman was finally signed. I fully expected him to go to Detroit and play ball with AJ Hinch, or even possibly go to Chicago and, you know, continue to play with Kyle Tucker and Ryan Presley. But, you know, the Red Sox came in and, you know, picked him up, and then there's still buzz coming out of the front office, and there's rumors all around Red Sox camp is that they're not done signing people or making moves to bolster this, to bolster this lineup. Now, over the past couple of years, if you've watched this show for any amount of time, and that's in longer than 5 minutes, you've heard me on a number of occasions talk about how I don't have very high expectations for the team this year, and that's going back as far as spring training of the last 2 years. When Bregman was initially signed, I got excited. I felt hope for this team. I felt that, the front office is finally allowing Craig Breslow, who is the general manager of the team, to make the necessary moves, to make the necessary signings, to get the deals done, to put the best product out on the field possible, given the free agent market that's out there. And I'm still excited. I'm still hopeful that the team is going to turn things around. I'm not saying that they're going to go all the way, but at the very least, they're going to make it a fight for the AL East this year. We know that.
Do you really think they got a chance, though?
What, for the division? Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, absolutely. You see, the problem with the Yankees going out and doing what they've been doing as far as their roster is concerned, so signing people like Corey Bellinger, is the fact that you get all of this all-star talent loaded onto your roster. One, that's going to kill your ticket prices. You're going to find it incredibly hard to sell tickets, because even in the city of New York, where everything's expensive anyway, even New Yorkers have a line that they're going to draw, right? I mean, you're going to get your diehards. They're going to be like, "Oh, I'll go to sleep with 27 rings." Shut up. You're going to get those knuckleheads that are going to subsidize the evil empire, and then they have for the last 100-something years. So, I mean, that's on them. I mean, that would be like, it'd be like people in San Francisco bitching and complaining about the conditions that their city is in. Well, you voted for that, for those conditions. So we really don't want to hear you complain and bitch whenever things aren't going your way.
And continue to.
So, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is still looking to be traded and or signed just outright from the Toronto Blue Jays because he wants out of Toronto. And he has expressed a very heavy interest in wanting to come to play in Boston. And I think that would be great. I mean, he's still in his 20s. He's he's got a bat that just will absolutely abuse Pesky's pole in right field. He's a natural first baseman, so that would take care of the issues over on first. I mean, we could be potentially looking at a legendary infield for Boston this year if these days, if that deal goes through. I mean, Red Sox fans over the years have been blessed to have seen memorable infields and legendary outfields. And for my money, the best outfield that we will ever see will be Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts. So I'll die on that hill. I mean, the 2018 squad, I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, win, dance, repeat at the end of every game, at the end of every victory. Shit. Them's was the days. I looked forward to those tweets, win, dance, repeat. I mean, come on. But yeah, it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a very competitive year, as a matter of fact, because with the free agency market doing what it's done, even just from the end of the World Series all the way through the winter meetings and still happening during spring training. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, there's going to be some of these signings that everybody's going to be like, I thought this was going to be the one signing that put us over the edge, that helped us turn that corner, and it's going to end up being one of the biggest busts in the world. It's going to be very like with Toronto signing Max Scherzer, away from the Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good luck up there. I mean, honestly, good luck up there. It's
I don't think it's going to go the way he thinks it is.
It's really not. I mean, this is Max Scherzer's way of, breaking into the AL East without giving up his soul by playing for the Yankees. And speaking of the Yankees, they updated their facial hair policy last
I
week.
saw that.
No,
I saw that.
Yeah. The most archaic, ridiculous rule in all of baseball. And this goes all the way back to George Steinbrenner when he bought the team.
Mm-hmm.
My athletes are going to look like professionals. Okay, that's great. But, it's stupid things like that, have possibly cost you from being able to say, we've got 30 rings, we got 31, 32. People don't want to play for your team because you're just obtusively obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that definitely kept him out of the market for some.
I'm firmly convinced. Now,
great.
don't get me wrong. Alex Verdugo, when he played in Boston, he was a great personality. But the second that he became a Yankee, douchebag, absolute douchebag. And it's not because it's the Yankees. That did help. But I think that when the Yankees made him cut off his facial hair, and he looked like how can I put this? He looked like a grade school kid trying to buy alcohol with a fake ID. So it's just
He went from "I'm your daddy" to "Hello, sir."
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm your daddy to my daddy.
It makes a difference, man.
I mean, it
But
it went from I'm your Huckleberry to exactly what it did. So,
fantastic.
I mean, Alex Verdugo with no facial hair. It's the kind of person. I mean, that's the kind of transformation. That's like the twist ending, the unexpected twist in the story or the plot line, right? That just leaves you hanging, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hear. It's like you're expecting him to be the good guy, but he's at the end of the story, he's the pedophile that raped like 5 kids.
I just hope the U.S. Army is watching.
With the fact that we've got a screaming eagle as a SecDef,
right?
You would hope.
Speaking of archaic policies,
I mean, if you look at you look at some of these foreign militaries, like the British or even the Dutch army, right?
Mm-hmm.
The handlebar mustaches that some of these guys are allowed to wear.
Dude, some of those
mustaches could personally be responsible for war crimes. They're that deadly.
Oh yeah, some of them have confirmed kills just by themselves.
Yes, absolutely. And you want to talk about? I mean, some of these mustaches are probably personally responsible for keeping the population of Europe alive. I mean, I can understand, hey, we don't need the Norse beards or anything like that because, on the occasion, we need to mask up. But
yes, a beard like mine. Okay, that agreed. Excessive.
Yeah, I mean,
however,
I would say if you're tier 1, yes, go ahead by all means.
True.
Fucking Grizzly Adams it up. But if you're in a conventional unit, keep it short, keep it trimmed. You can still look professional.
Absolutely. There is a happy medium for sure. But
that's like, once I graduate this May and I get a job at one of these plants out here doing process stuff, I'm hoping that it's with an outfit that allows you to have a beard because you don't need to wear a respirator.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I mean, I'll shave it if I have to, but it's bad, right? Because all 3 of us have had facial hair long enough to where it's kind of part of our, it's part of our personality.
Yeah, it's part of our stick.
Yeah,
like
it's not necessarily a shtick. I mean, it's not a shtick. I mean, it's really not. It's legitimately part of our personality.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like I was going back over like old photos of me when I was younger.
I saw those on Facebook and I'm like, whoa.
Dude,
so
it's
glad I
so
met
different.
him.
Like I couldn't even I don't even know what I would do with myself now. if I had to shave it off. I don't know if I could maintain a clean shaven face right now. I honestly don't know if I would be able to.
I mean, when I shaved my face for school last semester, to do some of these professional development workshops and networking, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went out of my way every day. I'm shaving, right? Good soldierly appearance, blah, blah, blah.
Just sounds exhausting.
Dude.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean,
how did I survive that?
And I had, and I cheat because I've got the wet dry Norelco in there, right?
Still.
And I trim up the neckline, I try to keep it off my Adam's apple, because I'm not trying to look Amish or anything. But, after about a month, I'm just kind of like, you know what, I'm going to take the weekend off. And then the stubble, it went from 5 o'clock shadow to poof, you got a beard, and I'm like,
yeah,
holy fuck, I don't remember it ever growing that fast. I'm like, holy shit, and when the white chin hairs started sprouting back, I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm growing it back.
Yeah.
My wife and my kids were all like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
I mean, my poor
we
wife,
don't want to say anything.
My poor wife is like, I was getting used to it, but I'm so glad you're growing it back.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's really not. There was no football news over the week.
No. I was looking for something, even just blatant opinions on what the draft is going to be, and I couldn't even find that.
I mean, there is something. 9-time Pro Bowler Cowboys offensive lineman Zach Martin is retiring. So
I mean,
that's the personification of getting while the getting's good. So good job on him.
Is it really getting out when the getting's good?
I mean, let's put this way. To do what he's doing right now is the equivalent of the Titanic going down, and they're saying men and women or women and children go first, right? Zach Martin threw on a dress and said, "I identify as a woman." He was not going down with this ship at all.
Well, they already went down technically.
Yeah, they haven't hit bottom yet. No.
Yeah.
No, they haven't hit bottom yet.
There's plenty.
No, they are not. They are not Jacksonville irrelevant yet.
Yeah, there's still plenty more depth.
They're not Tennessee Titan irrelevant yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Not Chicago Bear irrelevant yet.
Their ticket prices are still double digits.
Yeah. So, but they are expecting to lose Trey Lance, who is one of their wide receivers. But and here's the thing. Stephen Jones was quoted as saying, "We're intending to draft a quarterback in April."
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh. It's
I don't
it's fucking interesting, man.
I'm halfway believing in the hype that they're getting rid of Dax.
Well, see, if they get rid of Dak, they better get a lot, because guess what? They're going to have to eat a ton of his contract.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to take a cap hit like crazy.
That still adds on to the hiring a quarterback.
Hell yeah.
Really?
Especially if they take a quarterback in the first round. I mean, they're going to have to trade up to go do that. But, to get a quarterback that's worth a shit, because the quarterback market in this year's trade or draft, not that deep. And I mean, in the department of laughability, Shador Sanders, Dion's kid, the one, oh boy, he's going to be the best quarterback ever played, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even get invited to the NFL Combine.
God.
He got a hold of the official measuring sticks that or timers that the Combine uses to measure the 40, and set up his own pro day out there in Colorado. From my understanding, it was not that impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got people like Cam Ward, one of the Heisman finalists from the University of Miami, hailing from West Columbia, Texas, which is about 30 minutes down the road from here.
Mm-hmm.
He's already been saddled with, commitment issues because he basically quit on the University of Miami last couple of games last year. I mean, and that's what people are like, fuck you. You quit on your team.
Well, okay. In you saying that, you're kind of right. But look at what happened in December with all those college teams. He's not the only one.
No, he's not the only one. No, he didn't enter the transfer portal. He gave up. Miami Hurricanes.
I still think
the Miami Hurricanes had a chance to make the 16 or to make the 12 teams, right? They had a chance to make the playoffs. He straight up just shit the bed and he just gave up on his teammates because I'm not putting myself out there to play extra games because I'm projected to go first round. Well, fucking good for you. But that intangible, outside of your skill set, then one of those intangible soft skills that the employers look for is marketability and dependability and leadership skills. Son, I'm sorry, you have not shown us either.
Yep, you played yourself.
So,
in all reality, though, I think anybody that did the transfer portal, like when the team was actually going to go to the playoffs, Michigan would. I'm still upset. I'm not a Michigan person. I don't go out and like praise Michigan as a college football team. But the basic fact of they could have gone.
Michigan's just pissed because they beat the fuck out of Ohio State last year, and then look who won the Natty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ohio State won that handedly. I mean, Notre Dame was favored to walk away with that game.
Oh yeah, a lot of people were saying that, and they just
and they got absolutely
demolished.
I mean, Ohio State, Philadelphia Eagled the fucking Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Mm-hmm.
It was sad because I asked, I started thinking about that today as I was looking for content to talk about tonight. And I was like, man, the similarities, the parity between those two games was uncanny. Absolutely uncanny. I mean, to the point where
this whole year,
Notre Dame didn't show up until the fourth quarter, but by then it was too late.
Yeah, this whole year for football at the end was a letdown. Honestly, college, NFL, it was a big letdown. And now with NBA, that how their ratings are going into the tube only because their games are boring as hell.
Yeah.
It might have been the Eagles that beat the Chiefs, but at the end of the day, the Chiefs lost. So I want to say it's a complete disappointment. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would love to say. Let me rephrase that. Chiefs Nation would love to say it wasn't so much that the Eagles beat us; we beat ourselves. No, you got fucking torched.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is what happens when your daddy referees don't back you up.
This is true.
When it's called a fair game, this is
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, all that aside, though, I mean, it's going to be, just like baseball season with the free agency moves and everything like that that are even still occurring. The draft is either going to be incredibly productive for some teams, or it is going to be an accelerant to the already burning dumpster fire that some teams are in the midst of.
I think, and this is going to sound like a really, really awful thing to say, but the Bears might actually fill out a good team where they might be somewhat of a contender. Might. You can argue that fact. You can hate me on that fact as much
David.
But I think
for starters, For starters, let's not get so lofty in our ideals of professionalism to think that I'm going to hate you for an opinion that you formed either intelligently or ignorantly. I'm not here to debate that. I'm not going to lay any kind of hate your way. I'm going to respect the fact that you've got an opinion at all.
We will mock you mercilessly for it.
However,
we will respect the opinion itself.
However, Chicago's problem is Chicago.
This is true.
Okay. That's just like Dallas's problem is not necessarily Dallas, but Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And honestly, I mean, the most awe-inspiring, the most, how can I put this? Convincing performance that Jerry Jones put on last year was his appearance in Landman.
Yeah, that was actually pretty epic.
Okay. So, maybe take a step back. Let your kid run it. You're still working with him. You're the owner, for crying out loud. You're just signing his paychecks. Okay. Everybody who has heard about the Dallas Cowboys since you bought the damn team knows who you are. You're going to be remembered. And if you really want to cement your legacy, if you want to earn that statue, that's going to be inevitably put out in front of AT&T Stadium after you have stepped away from football operations. The biggest thing and the best thing you could be remembered for is not the 3 Super Bowls that you brought to the fans of the Dallas Cowboys, but the fact that you recognized the deficiencies that you yourself were creating, and you took the steps to alleviate them by stepping the fuck away.
Uh-huh.
That's how you cement your legacy, Mr. Jones. Not doubling down on the fucking circus that you have created.
Just a little bit of humility. That is
who
all
knows?
it will take.
Maybe. And I'm just saying maybe if you swallow some of that humility, you learn it and you ingrain it in your DNA before you are dispatched from this mortal coil, God might just actually grant you passage into his kingdom. Just kind of putting that out there, guy. I mean, that's my humble, uneducated opinion, but, who am I? I'm just an ignorant fucking redneck, so it's whatever.
True.
But with that being said here, Colin, you ready for your segment, bud?
Said yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Spartan. He is bent on wronging that which has been set right. It's the greatest genetic code ever to exist here for your ears and eyes to feast upon. Spartan Colin, I hope you're bringing the smoke tonight. Someone get me a joke.
How does a robot have sex? He nuts and bolts.
Okay.
No,
I can see that.
What's the difference between weed and vaginas? Smell weed from across the room. It's really good weed.
This is true. That is very true.
What's the difference between car keys and kids? Car keys don't turn David on.
Oh,
Damn!
oh, from left field.
Oh,
Man, that came out of nowhere.
I was not expecting that at all.
Oh
man.
Holy crap, dude.
Hope you don't have to ever save your kid, Johnny. That did not happen on this end. You're falling from that cliff.
That was great.
Holy shit.
I might be the cause that you fall off that cliff.
I'm not gonna lie. I came up with that joke in the last 10 minutes. Like
That was a good joke.
Oh my
That was good one. That was solid. That was you lulled us into a sense of security with those first two.
Oh my god!
And then
dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was fantastic.
Oh my god! I mean, I'm sorry. I've been sitting. I was trying to listen, and I was like, all right, because I suggested the first two jokes for the evening. Because I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm playing Mario Odyssey, right? For like, because I've been wanting to play it for months, and I finally went out and bought a new Switch today, right? So, but I'm like,
Are you
that
in the
last
Sand
joke.
Kingdom? Is that what I saw?
Yeah. What?
Are you in the Sand Kingdom? Is that what I saw?
No. No,
You're not in the. You're on the Sand.
The Hidden Kingdom, Hidden Island.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, was that it? Was that the fire mission? Oh, okay.
Slipping out through the fog of war, this Spartan continues the fight. Your souls have become collateral damage in the battle against the flood of moral supremacy. Leave your expectations at the door on your way out and marvel before the pillar of tactical prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
Okay. So, goddamn, David, I actually want to apologize to you for that last joke. I really do. I'm okay. So there was a NASCAR race this weekend in Atlanta. Yeah. God, there's so much. I can't even start that breakdown of that race because that last joke kind of fucked me up. I'm like, so we've been rearranging the house, and Chris, I don't know if you've noticed, but like my background is different.
I did notice.
It's because my desk is now currently in my bedroom. We had to give up the office because the in-laws are moving in. Yeah. So, we've reached that point in our lives where we have to take care of a set of parents. You know, and I say not take care of in the sense of like
move them to a home.
No, they're not going to home. We're not putting them in a home because I mean, I don't want my kids to put me in a home. You hear that, Colin? I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not going. No.
I plan on being a burden to your grandkids. Okay.
Number one. I'm not that big of an asshole. Number two. They'd be expensive.
See there it is. That's the truth.
That's what it is.
It's like I don't.
Should have just led with that, you know, and it would have been way more believable. So yeah.
I was waiting for the other part. He's like, I'm not that big an asshole, and then he says that right on the heel.
And then number two, it's like,
well, I say that was the last joke there, and then he's trying to tell us that he's not that big of an asshole. Like, come on. As I was waiting for it, I knew it.
I'm the owner of your genetic code. I know better.
Yeah.
So there's
like
that.
I'm not certain people. Okay, like I actually do love you. You know.
I'm just gonna yell my own father.
Man, Colin is spicy today.
He already knows it.
I love it.
And I hope those certain people see this. I sure hope they do.
That would be nice. But
Indeed.
like I said, you know, you can lead a horse to water, You can whip it. You can't really make it drink if it doesn't want to. So, anyways, moving on, digressing. The Ambetter Health 400 was held this weekend. Kyle Busch actually got to victory lane in the Craftsman Truck Series this weekend. So, seeing him in victory lane, it was his, I think it was career win number 202 across the three national series. And by God, he almost had that. I mean, he had a pretty decent chance at scoring a win this weekend in Atlanta. He ended up finishing 7th. Now, Atlanta in its current configuration is considered a drafting track, right? Or super speedway, because they went to 28-degree banking in the turns. So they don't have to lift at all going around this track, but handling is a premium at Atlanta, more so than Daytona or Talladega. Christopher Bell came out of nowhere, took the victory. Kyle Larson was actually leading and going into the last lap yesterday. The car started wrecking and everything like that. And instead of letting them race back to the line like they did at Daytona, NASCAR instantly threw the caution. So, and there's another example of NASCAR not, being consistent with the enforcement of their own rules. But Carson Hocevar posted his career best finish of 2nd yesterday. He edged out Kyle Larson for 2nd by less than 3/1000th of a second. At the time that they threw the caution and everything, all the field was frozen according to the timing loops. Christopher Bell had the race won at that point by a couple of feet, just because he had the high line, so he carried the momentum. With Carson Hocevar, had a pretty abysmal season in his rookie season last year. He had a fast car. He was in the right place at the right time yesterday at the end of the race. And he pissed off a lot of veterans, to include Ross Chastain, which I find hilarious. But, given if the circumstances were reversed, I have no doubt that Ross Chastain would be bouncing his car off of everybody else's just to try to get a win. I mean, Ross Chastain was the one making the most noise at the end of the race yesterday, as far as Hocevar was concerned. But I mean, everybody remembers Ross Chastain is the reason why we've got the rule that you can't run your car off of the wall, at Richmond. So I really, anytime Ross Chastain bitches about enforcement of rules and decorum on the track, I tend to kind of dribble, tone out his dribble, because it's just simply due to the fact that the guy, it's laughable. It really is. It is. But the finishing order: Christopher Bell, Carson Hocevar, Kyle Larson finished 3rd, Ryan Blaney 4th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 5th, Denny Hamlin came home 6th, Kyle Busch finished 7th, Ross Chastain 8th, Bubba Wallace 9th, and John Hunter Nemechek rounds out the top 10. Man, there was quite a few wrecks yesterday. With the speeds that they're traveling at Atlanta, and the fact that it is a handling track, it really, it's a 1.5-mile track, so you don't have a lot of reaction time if something happens in front of you, and you just you're along for the ride at that point. They shortened the race from 500 miles to 400 miles, and it really it puts out a better product of racing on the track, because the sense of urgency is always there. I would like to see, a softer tire compound be used next time, for a little bit more tire fall off to make tires a premium. Handling obviously is still a premium, but we need we need tires to be changed out a little bit more frequently. I would like to see a softer compound be used at Atlanta when they go back in the summer, especially because the track temperatures are going to heat up. So that's going to make the cars even looser. And if you got a softer compound that goes away a lot quicker, that's going to add another wrinkle, and it's going to make some crew chiefs scratch their heads and start crunching numbers a little bit differently, as opposed to just, we're going to put fresh tires on and we're going to go into fuel conservation mode. And it's like, I'm so tired of seeing these speedway races become fuel saving contests. And it's just, it's a boring product. It really is a boring product. I mean, when you go into fuel conservation, it allows the pack, allows the entire field to bunch up either 2x2, at Atlanta, or 3 wide, like we were seeing at Daytona last week. And, you could definitely tell when fuel savings went out the window and everybody was all, everybody for themselves, and everybody was mashing the accelerator down, because you had, 2x2 side by side racing. And, it really made you rely more heavily on picking the right dance partner, finding out where the runs were going to be coming from, where the best energy was going to come from in the form of a push. We're talking, speedway racing the way that it used to be whenever they would run restrictor plates on the old carbureted engines before they went to the fuel injection. I would like to see a return of that style of racing, because to me, it made the teams earn it even more, as opposed to, this fuel conservation crap. And, we've got the harder tires. We hardly have to change them. Like, no, go softer compound. I mean, really, go softer compound. Now, in tracks like Dover or Martinsville, where, if you roll the tire from the mounting, from the Goodyear shop where they're mounting the tires on the rims, if you roll that tire 5 feet, guess what? You've already taken like 3/10 off of that tire. So it's like you want to protect your tires. You want to be able to, put the race back in the hands of the driver. As far as like taking care of their car, taking care of their tires, and making sure that they've got enough equipment to make a charge at the end of the race. This fuel savings crap on these speedway races is absolutely for the birds, and I am not here for it. I'm going to continue to watch racing. I'm going to continue to listen to racing on the radio when I'm in the car, but at a certain point, even the drivers, I got to be like, enough is enough. Because fuel savings is just boring. 100% boring. Anyways, I really don't have a whole lot this week.
I finally watched Nosferatu.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to watch it.
Yeah, I've been
It's really good. It's really good. It in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, it's very slow but very good slow.
Right.
It some of the stuff you have to go back over, because the way that Bill Skarsgård did the voice and everything, it's very hard to understand them at times. But it is like the old Universal Dracula, modern day.
Caught up on Invincible or...
Invincible's good too.
No, I'm saying, like, are we all caught up on it?
No, I haven't watched episode 5 yet, but
I finished the comic book series.
No, I'm not caught up at all.
Yeah. Episode 5 is just kind of like a filler, almost.
Yeah, it really was a little bit. Because
they were like building the budget up for this next one. Cause they released like a sneak peek of it.
I am happy to see Reacher season 3 coming out here.
yes,
Ooh,
the first
3 episodes.
3 episodes are available now.
Yeah, 3 episodes are out right now. It is really good.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list. And they're actually doing I hesitate to call it a spinoff. It's almost like a prequel series with based on from Terminal List.
Yeah,
with,
Dark Wolf.
Yeah, that actually is interesting too.
Dude, what's
And Jack Carr is involved in that one, which is the only reason I would actually give it a chance because
what's really funny with that, because the same guy actually played in America Primeval, and Peter Berg. He was the director of American Primeval, and he was talking on it was either Joe Rogan or Shawn Michaels that he said this. He was like, "Yeah, we went brutal. Those were people's bodies going against other people's bodies. It was really treacherous and it was really brutal and everything." And then I was talking to the one of the lead actors, the guy that's going to Dark Horse. He's like, "Yeah, man, have a good vacation. Hope you can heal up from all that stuff." Dude, I got a week before I have to shoot Dark Horse. And Peter Berg actually produces that one too. And he's like, Oh, I know what I put in there. I'm so sorry.
It's like, yeah. That's why he gets the big bucks.
Yeah. But yeah,
like, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out pretty soon. I watched the Captain America Brave New World. It was all right. I'll watch it.
My girlfriend wants to see it.
I'm going into it with medium expectations, not very high.
It was entertaining. I thought it was going to be like.
I expect it to be well done because I've heard some good things about it. I heard Harrison Ford did a good job. As his
it was
what my son told
me. It was very entertaining. He did Thunderbolt Ross pretty good when it came around to the turn on it.
I do hear that a lot of people wish they didn't reveal that it was going to be
I haven't seen it.
No spoilers.
No. A lot of people are saying
that the trailer, the Red Hulk thing.
Yeah. A lot of people wish that they didn't reveal that.
Which I agree. It would have been better if we had,
because it was. I went in going to watch it knowing what the outcome was, because stuff just came popping up on my feed. I was like, and I accidentally clicked on it. I was like, and I would watch it. I was like, okay, I kind of wish I didn't know that. It would have been.
Oh really, yeah.
Still.
So
I'm gonna try to watch it this weekend.
Yeah, the T-1000 is coming to Mortal Kombat, and he looks kind of cool. I don't.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming to
Fortnite. Not Fortnite. I mean Black Ops 6. Yeah.
Damn it.
Dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy playing the occasional Call of Duty. Enjoy. I don't care. Look, I love Ninja Turtles. I don't care. Another collab. It's another collab. You know, they did Shredder, in Modern Warfare 2, I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some interesting. It's
hard. It's just another collab. So.
It's hard to get interested in a lot of the stuff that's coming out nowadays because it's more or less repeat.
That is true. I am excited because it comes out in 4 days. New Monster Hunter's game. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out that's new, but at the same time, it's kind of like just a continuation of stuff. Sony, they screwed up again when the Elden Ring, the Elden Ring Night Rain beta test was going on. Nobody on PlayStation could play it, so that was cool.
After playing World of Warcraft and having, you never know that it's still a little bit better than back in the WoW days when you had to go to Ironforge and go to the auction house and see if you could go try to find some stuff. Because
I I've been kind of wanting to. I don't got any money to buy right now, but I've been wanting to check out Kingdom Come 2. I'm like,
Dude,
this
I've been
looks.
watching a lot of people playing that, and yeah, it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, this is kind of cool. I like that you have to think on your decisions.
Yeah,
Very.
it looks pretty good.
It made me want to go back and play the first one again.
I never played the first one, so I don't.
First one's good too.
It kind of
The only thing is you really need to be mindful and train in combat, because the combat is eye-bleedingly difficult if you don't put the time in to try to practice.
The way it's been described to me is that it's like the opposite of Souls games in the way you have to think about your decisions.
Absolutely.
I've seen some stuff on it and it looks awesome. So
you are not the Billy Badass. You are not. You're barely.
no, yeah, I've heard you're just like a regular guy that's just like.
You have zero. When I say zero skills at the beginning, it's not like other games where it's like, you're like Diablo, you're still a fucking badass even though you have nothing. Like this one, you literally, if you are not careful, your first person you run into is going to absolutely destroy you.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay. I was like, I didn't do it, I swear.
I've been noticing this with a lot of games recently, and it gets me a little mad because it's not news to nobody at this point that GTA 6 is coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
What's making me mad about it is, number one, I don't really care for the GTA series. I mean, San Andreas, it was pretty good. 5, it has its things. I just don't really care for the series. I mean, they're alright. They're mediocre games at best to me. And what GTA 6 is doing is, because of the time it's getting released, all these gaming companies are pushing their release dates. Whether it be forward or backward,
Alexa,
it's like
1 hour, starting now.
Either it's causing gaming companies to rush, or it's causing just all this stuff coming out at the same time, and it's like I have to pick and choose. Like, okay, do I want this game first or do I want this one? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, and here's the thing: it's with the games, being, oh, we're gonna release this and that, and it's like, okay, well, the question that everybody needs to ask is it gonna work? Is it gonna be broken? What am I gonna have to do in order to, make the game playable on day one? It's just, there's just so many questions that need to be answered.
Am I going to be able to play it on day one without having a 60 gig freaking update?
Yeah, dude, I was playing Civilization 7, the new one, and it's really great. It's really awesome. I had to restart it probably around about 17 times that day when it first came out.
Yeah. So Fortnite strikes again. They're adding Sub-Zero to Fortnite, so that's
just,
and it's his classic outfit too. So
Sub-Zero with a gun. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
This was a short episode.
We're getting Ninja Turtles with guns a second time.
Yeah,
that's fine if it's a short episode. Most of the episodes in March and February are going to be our short episodes. there's really not that much news unless you want to get into the March Madness stuff, which no one really does.
I am
Yeah.
so I am so mad about the list because I didn't realize till after fact I was knocking all the fighting games off. And this weekend, me and Jake played Soul
That's why you
Calibur
get
2.
categories.
Well, yeah, no, me and Jake played Soul Calibur 2 this weekend. Oh my god, is that like one of the greatest fighting games of all time? I
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
it
a really
so
good game.
much.
It's even have a really good storyline too.
I loved playing as Link. Link was pretty fun because we played it on the GameCube. Because Jake was telling me about like all the like variations of Soul Calibur like on different consoles, and how like they had like a carrot, like they had the like Cloud Strife, they had it all done, and they brought it to Square Phoenix, and they were like, no, no. So
Yeah, they do that.
Oh.
It's a drop in a hat. See if the actual companies actually go with the.
So, okay, I've got some gaming related stuff. All right, so I ordered a PlayStation 2 Slim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through the Walmart app, right? You know, it turns out it was one of their third-party vendors, and I'm like, all right, cool, great. I'm getting a PS2 Slim. I'm going to play Shadow of the Colossus, you know, and I'm going to be happy. I've got Tiger Woods 04. I'm going to go. There's a thrift store over in Brazoria, about 30 minutes from here, 30, 45 minutes from here, where, you know, the guy's just like trying to get rid of games. And I'm like, okay, great. I pull all the boys downstairs. I'm like, I'm going to unbox this because I want them to hear that sound, that sweet startup sound that the PlayStation 2 has, right? I'm like, okay, well, one of the memory card doors was already broken. You know, the magic gate, right? I'm like, okay, you know, I can crack this open and I can fix it. You know, it's what it is, right? The disc tray cover, it's a little janky, but okay, maybe that's forgivable. It's definitely a third-party controller. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to replace that. That's not a big deal. You know, I'm like, I'm just trying to focus on the positive. I started up, and the software has been modded.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, huh.
It gave you the fact.
So it says Infinity, and then it goes into the PS2 startup, right?
it was a Matrix.
Or it said Matrix. That's right. And then when I started up the game, it read that it was a PS2 disc. Great. But it won't fucking play them. Because it does the whole, you know, it says PlayStation 2, and then it says Matrix underneath the PlayStation, and then it's got kind of like gibberish written under the right-hand side of the logo. And then the signal cuts. The signal dies from the console.
So you got screwed.
I was pissed. Oh, but I was smart. I paid through PayPal. So, as a matter of fact, let me double check something.
While you're checking that real quick, Virtual Fighter, they have a new mechanic in their upcoming game, and it's like a counter or like a deflection almost, where if you block or something at the right time, you can like knock back any well they want to have this as a mechanic where you can knock back any attack and then like attack again, and it's not just gonna be like it's a free hit if you do that. The other person could knock back the like counterattack, and if that happens, they're thinking about having it to where it's like the two characters like go at it and then like they knock each other back. So
Interesting.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So it promised to have my $111.45 refunded back to me within 3 hours of the after the return is received, which was this morning. Still haven't got my money back, but I plan on doing that because I'm going to escalate with PayPal tomorrow. But yeah, to say that I was not happy is putting it very mildly. I was like big time disappointed. And when I called this company, and for those of you keeping score at home here, let me see if I can find that email. The company's name is Best Retro Games. Don't buy from these people. Just don't do it.
Because how do you get somebody a modded fucking or a jailbroken fucking console? Like how?
Well, on their ad, like the very fine print, it talks about, oh, well, we flashed the software to be more stable than the Chinese software. I'm like, well, for starters, it wasn't Chinese software.
Exactly. That should have given them a red flag right there.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, they're being repped or being allowed to sell on the, on the. There's our bot right there in the comments. That's awesome.
I gotta go in and take care of that right now.
But I'm like, okay, so I called Walmart initially, and they're like, oh, you're gonna have to contact the vendor, and I'm like, how about you guys fucking handle this? Because you're allowing them to sell on your app, and so they're gonna make you look bad now.
Yeah, that's your reputation.
That's the same thing of on Unsubscribed Podcast. They did a shirt for to raise money to autism.
Yeah.
And someone basically stole it, put it on the Walmart shopping thing.
Yeah.
And started selling that shirt in different varieties.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's just.
Oh, no. I just got a notification from VetTix. Jerry Cantrell is going to be in concert Wednesday night in Houston.
Mm.
Oh man, come on, dude. Really? Oh well. I mean, I'll miss that concert. I'm still going. I'm going to Metallica this June. So
nice.
And I found out Suicidal Tendencies is opening up for them as well as Pantera, right? And I was like, wait a minute, no. That's not Pantera. I mean, I understand Phil's probably still the front man for him, but it's not Pantera. Because, I mean, Dimebag Darrell is long time dead. It's not Pantera. I'm sorry. It's Fotera, really. Or Pantera Light, maybe. Pantera Zero. That's what I'm going to call it.
Pantera Light.
Diet Pantera.
Do you see that video going around that's making the rounds? This woman, obviously, she's in the South because there's a Whataburger in the scene somewhere, talking about how military veterans and military members don't deserve the discounts.
Yes,
she was
angry how her taxpayer money is being used for that, which it's not.
Yeah.
And
she's like, why don't we get a discount? Shut your fucking dumbass up.
Yeah. So a guy that I'm friends with on Facebook, he's another vet. He's also a vet. Jason Robinson. I was following this guy for forever. He was part of the 10th Mountain. He was also part of the Old Guard down there in Washington. He goes, I'm embarrassed that I see a Whataburger behind her, meaning she in the South, right? And I said, I mean, it's slightly okay. She's very conscious about her figure. So she gets a Diet Coke to go with her triple Whataburger with everything on it. She adds bacon and jalapenos because it's still protein and veggies. She leaves off the cheese because she knows that's what makes her fat.
Gotta watch the calories.
It's the drink. That's the reason why she's drinking the Diet Coke.
Right. And my sister-in-law, she's one of these like reality TV junkies.
Mm-hmm.
And she was watching this one show, and like these two women, like I don't know, like their heads alone probably weighed like 50 pounds each. right? I mean, it's one of those types where, they know how to have a good time because they partied their asses off and it ended up on their front. Yeah.
That's how they get the front butt.
Right. And, so they were sitting down with an actual dietitian and they were like, aren't you concerned like at all? So she's like how many Cokes are you drinking a day? And they're like, oh, easy, like a case of Cokes a day, like 24 to 36. Right.
Oh, Lord.
And she's like,
I can't even drink
you
one.
think maybe that's, part of the problem? And they're like, oh, no, because we're drinking Diet Cokes. And she's like, what? Who told you that? Like, well, our mama said it was okay. We could eat anything we want as long as we had Diet Coke with it because it would offset the calories. And I mean, they were dead fucking serious.
Jeez.
Oh yeah. A lot of people are
going. I'm like, lady, that 1 calorie is not going to keep your ass from exploding.
This is true.
And which is why I'm glad people like RFK is handling the FDA now. I mean, he's already gotten rid of red number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Did he really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was like the first thing he did.
And he's trying to get it to where the regulations are lifted so ivermectin can be available for human consumption, because it started out as
okay.
Well, you can go to Tractor Supply. I take it.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Tractor Supply and you can buy it, and they advertise it as an equine supplement.
Yeah,
but
you can buy that over the counter in like Europe.
Yeah, but you can't here, at least not yet.
In the United States. You can't do that in the United States.
Not for human consumption. No, I mean, we went down to Tractor Supply here in Lake Jackson, and we bought a couple of tubes of it, and I take some every day.
Mm-hmm.
You take a little bit every morning for 2 weeks, and then you take activated carbon every morning, and what that does is it absorbs all the toxins that the ivermectin takes care, gets rid of, attacks, and it absorbs into that activated carbon, and your body disposes of it, and then you can do it for like a week, once a month kind of a day, with the ivermectin. But it's basically it's a dewormer, basically, because a majority of the things that happen to humans are parasitic based.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's all kinds of reports, studies that are out there, like with like cancer treatments. There's been documented cases where people have been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. They immediately started taking ivermectin, and the cancer disappeared.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Really? Okay, all right, I'm listening.
But it turned Joe Rogan orange, though.
Well, that's because he was taking a ton of it. You only have to take a certain amount for every morning for 2 weeks.
Just you don't get the joke.
No, I don't. Apparently, I was trying to be serious, and then you want to inject some humor.
Okay. They made it look like Joe Rogan took ivermectin to fix his COVID problem. Fix the problem. He went on his show saying how ivermectin helped him out, but you're supposed to take the vaccine. So after that, and this is probably going to be getting taken down now after I said all that, but CNN put a filter over him saying that, and he turned orange.
Oh, see, because the only way I know to turn orange, aside going to get a spray tan, is eat too many carrots.
Or become president of the United States.
Spray tan. There, bud.
No, sometimes you become the president of the United States and you turn orange.
Well, then why didn't Joe Biden turn orange? He was the whitest motherfucker I know.
Sometimes. I didn't say every time.
Oh, see, there was the qualifier. Okay, all right. I'm tracking.
Man.
Look, don't. Did you see the video of Joe Biden? He resurfaced here recently, like a couple days ago. Dude, his face was bruised the fuck up. Somebody's been beating the shit out of him.
Well,
Probably Jill.
Oh, you hold your tongue, sir. That's Dr. Jill.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
no, I
I'm
just
feeding him, but it's
Doctor-
been a therapeutic.
Doctor President to you.
Yeah, right.
But no, I just
Madam
watched a
President with a
video.
PhD or a doctorate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
I just watched a video of Kamala Harris going down to LA, and yeah, it was exactly how I expected it.
I
to.
loved the video of her and her husband going out grocery shopping for the first time, and they were kind of like shocked at how expensive everything was.
Yeah. Y'all saw the news about Dan Bongino, right?
Mm-mm.
He's the new deputy
Assistant-
director.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Deputy
yeah,
Director
yeah,
of the
yeah.
FBI.
Yeah, I watched the video. I watched his video of his radio. Is it his radio show? Is it his podcast?
Yeah.
It was on YouTube, and I watched that
Dude.
today.
Bongino and Cash Patel together.
Yeah, that would be
that is
Awesome.
awesome. I am very happy to see that.
Yeah, it was really humbling seeing him. Like just to he was crying on air. He was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Listen, I am a big fan of Bongino. I am a big fan of him.
I like his clips. I just don't like the long stuff. I'm getting to
Yeah.
the point where I'm only watching clips, and it's really sad.
Yeah. Well, I think we should go ahead and land this plane, guys.
Let's do it.
Chris, hang out for a minute after we get off the air.
Yeah, at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I kind of want to fill you in a little bit as far as like what's going on out here and things of that nature. So
Absolutely.
but ladies and gentlemen, I was not privy to the Mountain Man making an appearance tonight. I am incredibly happy about that. Like I said, the universe has come back into balance, and it makes about as much sense to me to have Chris Jacka on the show as learning that Henry Cavill was named the newest James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the new James Bond.
Yes, he is.
He's not.
Yeah.
He should be.
We were about to close this thing up, and Johnny had to do something. Really?
No, they announced that. Like, it's been all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Because what just happened just recently is the family that owned the rights for the past since the 1960s sold it on Prime.
No, they sold the rights. They still
Well,
own.
yeah, they sold the rights.
They still own the franchise, but they
yeah.
sold the rights to Amazon.
Yeah, but it was announced that Henry Cavill's going to be the new James Bond.
Okay, this is like 2 hours ago. Henry Cavill still internet pick. That's it. Everybody's doing the whole thing. You guys,
even Daniel Craig came out and said it.
no, he's not.
If they have half a brain, it's going to be him.
Yeah. If they do have half a brain, you're absolutely right. He would be good for it.
Okay, well then let me revise my statement because I don't want to upset the apple cart here, David. Having Chris Jacka on the show makes as much sense to me and the rest of the world as having Henry Cavill named to be potentially the next James Bond. There. Are you happy now, fuckface? I'm so glad. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah, because right now he's filming Voltron.
You are like a child who doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
No, not really. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But ladies and gentlemen, as our viewer count is exploding at the end of the episode, this has been episode 201, and feel free to go back and watch the playback. I'm sure that you'll be either slightly amused, incredibly amused, or horribly offended. Either way, we're winning. Tiger's blood. This has been episode 201. I'm Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
I am Chris Mountain Man Jecka.
I'm Colin Skelton.
And you have become privy, and you have become indentured. And we will drag you to the finish line kicking and screaming. And in the words of the immortal lesbian pirate, Bearded Clam, scissor me timbers. R.